Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I make my pulled pork in 4 hours at 400 degrees, hot and fast. Hey guys, welcome to Burnt Offerings Barbecue. So this is our first YouTube video, and we're going to talk about how I do my hot and fast pulled pork. So if you come in here, you'll take a look at one of our pork butts that we got yesterday. We seasoned it overnight, and we seasoned it with some of this Paradise Pepperco Cherry Bomb. I got this locally from my local meat market, Torres Meat House. And so we seasoned it overnight. This is a big chunk of meat. You want to make sure and give it time to absorb all those seasonings and salts and everything. But anyway, here we are the next morning. We took it out of the fridge and we let it sit for maybe 15 or 20 or so minutes. We got our smoker up to temperature today. We're cooking on the Kamado Joe. So we got it up to 400 degrees, which I know is really hot, but we're cooking hot and fast today. So on the smoker, we're going to throw this for about an hour to an hour and a half until all the bark sets. And then once that bark sets, then we'll wrap it in foil to protect it until it finishes the cook. So overall, this should be about 4 hours at 400 degrees. And then we'll give it maybe 30 minutes to an hour of rest. So let's go ahead and let's get ready to throw this on the smoker. So we've got our smoker up to 400 degrees. Like I said, we're going to get ready to throw this pork butt on. So here we go. There's nothing special about this. I usually always do this fat side up. And what I want you to notice here is that we do have a drip tray in the bottom, this foil drip tray. Pork butts are extremely fatty, I'm sure as many of you know. And so we definitely don't want to start a grease fire. You can see this fire's kicking up. It's going to kick up anytime we really open up the lid. So anyway, let's get this shut down. We're going to come back and we're going to check it. We're probably not going to check back, honestly, probably for another hour to an hour and a half. We just want to make sure that our temperature gauge stays at 400 degrees. We don't want it to kick up too high. If it goes a little lower, that's okay. But again, the goal is 400 degrees. One of the things I want to encourage you guys to do is to support your local businesses, like your local butcher shops and mom and pop shops. So for example, like this is Torres Meat House, their own all-purpose blend. These guys have been excellent for me to work with. Every time I go in there, they ask me if they can help me out in any sort of way. So like, for example, I had bought some briskets to cook for Christmas time, and I asked for some extra beef fat, and they were able to provide me that so I can make my own beef tallow for the briskets. And so there's so many companies out there and mom and pop shops that are looking for customers to build those relationships with and to network. Another prime example right here is this 3 Generations barbecue sauce. This was made by a lady here in Texas that has a recipe that's been handed down for 3 generations. There are so many little gems like this that are hidden out there, and I feel like we're doing a great service to those that we can support, and so to support local farmers, ranchers, mom and pop shops, meat houses, etc. So here are a few other options that I know are made locally here in Texas. There are so many little jewels and stories just like this that are passed down from generations or that are new pop-up or startup companies. And you know, our mom and pop shops and smaller businesses, they even carry the big brand stuff as well. So again, I want to encourage you guys to get out there and support your local businesses, your local ranchers and farmers, and all these awesome companies. So we've got our pork butt over there. Again, it's at 400 degrees. We're going to come back and check on it in roughly about an hour or so to see how the bark is going. I want to show you guys just a few things that we're using today. So I've already showed you the Paradise Pepperco Cherry Bomb. Again, I got this locally from my local meat market. This gentleman is from, I believe it's Paradise, Texas. But anyway, any sort of sweet rub will work. I'm sure you guys know that sweet rubs and sauces and everything go great with pork. A lot of people will inject their pork. I don't have time for that. A lot of people will smoke their pork butts for, 10, 12 hours at a time. And again, if I'm going to cook it and then shred it and sauce it just for it to go on a bun, I'm probably not going to cook it for 10 or 12 hours. 4 hours is a great time. You can literally come home from work and even throw this on the smoker and have it for dinner if you need to. But anyway, I don't inject my pork butts whenever I'm doing hot and fast, but I'll always use some sort of sweet rub. Then at the end, whenever we shred it, I'll always usually add a sweet sauce. You can't go wrong with Sweet Baby Ray's. And so then also to complement the Sweet Baby Ray's and the Cherry Bomb, we're also going to throw in a little bit of Cherry Coke. So today we're smoking. We're using this Smoky Woods charcoal. This is premium charcoal, some of the best stuff that I've used. Maintains temperatures excellent, has great smoke flavor. And then also we're pairing it with this Smoky Woods hickory chunks. I always love to smoke hickory whenever it comes to pork, whether it's my pork butts, my ribs, anything that I want sweet, even my chickens. If I'm doing a sweet chicken, I will use hickory. I love hickory. I think it's one of the best woods whenever you're trying to achieve that sweet flavor. So we're pairing both of these today with our sweet rub and sauce and just a touch of Cherry Coke just to give it that little bit of extra pop of flavor. And then whenever we're done, we're going to shred it, throw it on a bun, and we'll see how it tastes. So as you can see, we're still cruising along at 400 degrees, and it's been about 30 minutes. This is what we're looking like so far. We'll come back and check again in another 30 minutes. So it's been about an hour, and you can see we're still rocking at about 400 degrees. So real quick, we're going to open it, take a look at it, and it's probably going to be time to wrap. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. We've got nice color here. Our bark is set for sure. So let's go ahead and let's take it off and let's put it on the foil. So again, as you can see, we've got really nice color. Our bark is set. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this. And when we wrap it and put it back on the smoker, it should be done in about 3 hours. When we wrap, we're going to wrap with tin foil. That way all of that juice and grease and moisture and everything basically will boil itself inside of that foil. So we're going to wrap it, throw it back on the smoker. We're going to put our temperature probe in it to monitor our temperature. And it's pretty much going to be hands off until this pork butt reaches about 202, 203. Don't get it, don't get it. Hang on, I gotta take these off. Come on now, baby. Are you recording me struggling with this? You can probably cut to about right here. Back on the smoker we go, and we'll throw our temperature probe on in just 1 second. So we're still at about 400 degrees on the Kamado Joe, and it's been wrapped for about an hour now, and we're at 109 degrees. So total cook time so far has been 1 hour at 400 degrees. And then we wrapped it, and now it's been another hour at 400 degrees. And so we're 2 hours into our cook. So this should, again, be wrapping it up in about the next 2 hours.
2 hours later.
So as you can see, our temperature's fallen down a little bit. That's because we went through pretty much all of our charcoal. It's been pretty much right on the dot at 4 hours. We started this cook just a few minutes before 10:30. It's currently about 2:30, 2:35 right now. So again, 4 hours at 400 degrees. So our internal temperature, we're at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna let it go just for a couple more minutes, get it to maybe 202, 203 or so. and then we're going to take it out and we're going to let it rest for about 30 minutes. So again, guys, we're going to take this, we're going to set it here, and we're going to rest it for about 30 minutes or so before we take a look at it. So we've been letting this pork butt rest here for about 30, 40 minutes or so. So we're going to unwrap it, and we're going to take a look at what we got. Sorry, apologize if you guys hear the cows in the back. They're going crazy. They're getting fed some hay and some sweet feed and stuff right now. But anyway, here we go. Here's our pork butt. It's rested again for about 30 minutes to 40 minutes or so. So at this point, we can take our knives and we can cut into it. No, I'm just playing. This is pulled pork. We're going to pull that bone out like that, get all that meat off, and then we are going to shred that bad boy. There we go. Now, you can use your insulated gloves to do this. You can use your claws if you have your claws, whatever works. But again, if I'm going to shred this up and put sauce all on it and everything, then I am going to smoke it hot and fast. Make sure you get all these big chunks as shredded up as possible. And we will come back here in just a second. So now that we've got everything shredded up, we're going to go ahead and sauce it. Like I said, I usually use something fairly sweet, like Sweet Baby Ray's. There's 1,000,001 different sweet sauces you can choose from. But personally for me, I don't really like to drown my pulled pork in sauce. I like to keep it fairly light. So we're going to come in here and we're going to add a good little amount. But like I said, I don't really want to drown it too much in sauce. And then since we used that cherry rub earlier, that cherry bomb rub earlier, we're also going to go in there with a little bit of cherry Coke just to kind of add in some extra flavor. You don't want to go too much, but just a little bit. That should be good right there. And let's give it a mix. So again, guys, whenever I'm cooking pulled pork, and I know that I'm going to shred it up like this and sauce it and put it on a bun, then I don't have time to sit around and baby a pulled pork for 10 or 12 hours. I just want to get it done. I want to cook it. I want to shred it. And I want to throw it on a bun and see how it tastes. So this is kind of what I look for right here whenever I'm doing my pulled pork. Again, it's not drowning in sauce. There's not a ton of sauce like pooling at the bottom underneath it. It's just kind of giving it a little bit of moisture to it, you know, and creating a little bit more flavorful of a bite. Because again, like I said, I don't really like mine to be drowning in barbecue sauce or anything. So we're going to take this, we're going to taste it here in just a second, and we're going to throw it on a bun and see what we got. So let's go ahead and take some of this pulled pork, make us a little sandwich. Like I said, guys, whenever we are cooking this and saucing it and putting your onions and your pickles or whatever on there, I mean, you are not really going to taste the difference between hot and fast and low and slow at all. So let's take a look, cut into this bad boy, get our cameraman here a little taste test, see what he thinks. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so good right now. Let's take a little bite real quick. That's good, guys. I wish you could taste this. It's sweet, not too crazy sweet. It's moist, it's delicious, and now we have meat for the rest of the week for anything we need. This is good, guys. Cameraman, what you think? This is Emilio. Appreciate him coming out and helping me take some videos today. I figured I'd treat him to some barbecue too. So again, let's recap the cook. So we cooked this pulled pork. It was 400 degrees for 4 hours. The first hour was unwrapped, and then the last 3 hours we wrapped it in foil, after we got an internal temperature of about 202 or 203, we took it out and we set it down to rest. We let it rest for about 30 to 40 minutes. You can let it go for an hour or so, however long you want. And then when we shredded it, we sauced it. Now, I like to keep my sauce fairly light. I want whoever's going to eat it kind of to be able to determine how much sauce they want to add to their sandwich. That's just kind of my personal preference. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to add it down in the comments below, and I will try to get to it as soon as I can. Again, thank you so much. Please, if you would subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to share it with any of your barbecue friends. If you liked the video, then tap that like button. If you didn't like it, then double tap that dislike button. Thanks, guys.